The day that they were trying to shut you down was the day that many other people got to know who you were.
The government, the judges, the mainstream media and the police, they're all in it together. In reform, then people are being pushed out because they want conservative in. They're keeping their friends. It is just conservative 2.0.
You and I were most likely to get arrested for doing this podcast than a guy who's out there sexually assaulting a kid.
I just felt that it was really unjust.
You put a brick...
I love this country, but I love what it was. I don't love what it's becoming. They will hate the day that people like me get into politics. Oh, your mum's a G.
Morgan.
Who's Sarah?
All right, guys. You guys asked for it. And we're here with Sarah. Sarah White. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I mean, we were just talking just then before the podcast, before we started filming. I mean, the day's been crazy. Your day has been, crazier. I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're still here, and as I said, with my text towards you today, that we're just smashing the day through force, and I'm sure we're gonna smash this podcast through force. But some of the people who are watching this might be thinking and be like, "Hey, Barak, who's that nice-looking young girl that you got on the podcast? Could you tell me a little bit more about this girl that you got on the podcast?" Well, yes, we will. So, could you give that person or that lady, I might have to say, that lady, yeah, most likely that guy, who Sarah really is, and I want to go as further back as possible, maybe. In high school, who was Sarah in high school? Year 7 or maybe year 9. Who is Sarah? If I was your classmate and somebody asked me, what would I say about you if I went to the same school with you?
I think I'll be honest. I never had any problems at school, or I wasn't bullied, and I definitely wasn't a bully. And I had a really good experience of growing up and being at school, and I think that anybody who knew me in the school, whether they was my direct friends or other people that I just knew, I think they would all have good things to say about me. I think they would all say that I was pretty outspoken. Right. But one thing they would say is, "Who's Sarah? Don't you mean Bob?" And I was the biggest tomboy ever.
That's what they called you, Bob.
Bob, yeah. And they called me Bob because I played on the boys' football team. So in order to play on the boys' football team, I had to have a boy's name. And the teachers allowed that to happen. And I had short back and sides, wore boys' shirt, boys' trousers, boys' shoes, and I was really good friend.
What position did you play?
Defense, left back.
Defense.
Yeah.
All right, sick.
Yeah, I loved being a defender because that's where you really had to use a bit of force.
True.
Yeah, and I got on really well with all of the girls, and all the boys really liked me because I played football. So I was like one of them. All my teachers loved me. I used to get signed out of school quite a lot because my mum had a market stall at Roman Road Market, and I used to just go to work with her during the week, and that really gave me a good idea of life. Definitely being in a market, especially an East End market.
How was that like?
That was amazing. I would never change that for the world. I think that shaped me, to be honest, to be brought up predominantly in a market in the East End. 1, you learn how to deal with money. 2, you learn how to read people and sell them anything. And 3, it was just that it was like a real community, and everyone spoke to everyone, and everyone had so much respect for the elderly, for women. Everyone was very protective over all of the children that was there. It was one of the best experiences of my life, definitely.
So, what year is this, by the way? Just so
my nan actually had a stall in Roman Road Market for 50 years, and so from when I was born, my mum had the stall with my nan, and that lasted all the way up until I was 15. and then they stopped trading then. But yeah, so it was for the whole of my childhood.
Yeah, so you probably lived in a society or in an area where everybody had their responsibility and they were fulfilling it quite well in a sense where they looked after each other, they looked out after the old elderly, the young, the girls, the women and children.
Yeah.
That's quite, I mean, obviously that's something that that's something that we're always reminiscing in this country about.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, just in school, being a tomboy, and you mentioned being a tomboy now can get you in trouble now. Oh, God. Okay. I hope this censorship machine is not listening, but let's go back to, you mentioned you played football. All the guys and the girls and the teacher, everybody was was good with you. And particularly in the football sense, when you said defend, because you had to use a little bit force there. I mean, what did you learn in the sense where you had to be a little bit, being a tomboy? I mean, I've met tomboy girls. I'm sure you're more physically capable of doing a lot of things, meaning they could defend their girls' mate, they could get in a fight with boys, and they could just do all the crazy stuff that boys used to do. They're a little bit shabby, I might have to say.
Yeah.
No. What in the sense of today's time, of what you're doing today, do you think the way you've led your activism, do you think that tomboy side of you still exists today, where you have to be a little bit rough and you have to play a little bit outside of the rules and you have to spray yourself in like which obviously we're going to talk about, where you have to spray yourself and do crazy stuff, something that normal girls wouldn't go ahead and do?
Yeah, I think from from the age of 3, my mum always said, "Oh, I wasn't interested in girls' toys. I was always interested in boys' toys. I was always very, very tomboy, like very, very tomboyish, like to the extreme where I had short back and sides. And I, even now, I would probably dress more. I wouldn't say I'm very feminine. I'm fully aware that I am a woman, and I'm very aware that I only fancy men. So sorry, ladies, I'm not into women at all, But right. I've got a masculine side to me. I'm very strong. I'm confident. If I got a puncture, I'll take the wheel off and I'll change it. Like I can do everything.
That's good.
I am a single mum of 3 children, and anything that needs doing in this house, I do it. So,
sick.
If there's a problem with a boiler, I'll try and fix it before I need to get a man round to do it for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a very can-do person.
Okay.
I don't believe that there's anything I can't do. The difference is I am also, even though I am very much still got that tomboy side to me, I do love being very feminine as well. And I'm also very aware that men and women play their roles, and this is what we've lost in society. As a woman, I have my roles to play. Unfortunately, I'm not with a partner for him to play the role, so I have to then do the mum and the dad as well. But yeah, it definitely has carried on through into my activism and things like that. But I do think that no matter what, I was born to be. That was my makeup. I am strong and confident, and I'm capable. I'm fearless. I'm willing to put my neck on the line. I will defend anybody that needs defending. At school, I always stuck up for people that was being bullied.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. This channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14. On and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back. And now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because usually when I go back to my time when I was in high school, there used to be, well, I don't know, it started becoming a little bit gray area, but there used to be tomboys where they wear normal, they would dress like the boys and they'll tuck the shirt in, and sometimes they will have obviously some guys, including myself, I didn't like tucking my shirt in. It made me look cool, so I'm like, I keep it out a bit. But teachers are like, tuck it in, and I'm tucking it in. Some girls used to do that too, and they're like tucking it. So that we've seen that. The reason why I brought it up is because of what you're finding right now is the going into politics as you are doing right now is, and especially when you mentioned the tomboy side. I just wanted to tap into it and try and understand, does that play a part in your activism? And it seems to me that it does, because the things that you've been doing, you're rough in the game, in a sense where like
in the nicest
you're active.
way.
Yeah, in a nice possible way, yeah. In a way where no man will drag you outside and drag you on the floor because you're carrying a flag, which we're gonna get to as well. But you mentioned that you got 3 kids. Could you tell, if it's fine with you, could you tell me how is that like being a single mother with 3 children? Are they young? If somebody's out here standing on the fence thinking, oh, she has 3 kids, oh man, this is a bag that I don't want to support, man. No, that means she won't be able to turn up, all this thing. Maybe she needs to babysit. Could you tell more about the situation with 3 kids?
So there's no such thing as babysitting now, because they're 19, 18 and 15.
Right.
They're very capable. They're very strong and confident like their mum. And I'm here for them as much as I need to be as a mother, but you start to become a little bit redundant the older they become.
Yeah, they fire you.
It's more like, Mum, could you send me some money, please?
Yeah, that's it.
The older two both work. So it's my youngest now. He does boxing 5 mornings a week, goes to school in the afternoon. He's doing really well. They're really nice children. So, when did I split up with? So my youngest, so he was 2, then my middle one was 4, and the oldest one was 6. So I've been been a single parent since that time. And, I still get on with their dads, and I had a 40th birthday party this year, and
sick.
And my kid's dad come with his wife and his mum and dad and his daughter and her partner.
Wow. So that's how connected you guys are still up. That's brilliant.
Because you know what? Listen, and I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm a strong believer in that. Was we in love at that time? Yeah, like we was in love. We had children. They was born out of love. And at the end of the day, if you love your kids, you should really try your utmost to still have a positive relationship. And I know that there's people there going, oh, not with my partner. And I totally get that. But for me personally, I've been able to do that. We've both been able to do that. I could call their dad now and speak to him, or I could speak to his wife, and I take the kids round to see their nan and granddad, and it's nice. We all just get on, and even if I was upset about something, I could still call them if I felt that I needed to, and be a bit of a shoulder to cry on. And I think it's very important. And I also don't believe, I hate it when women use children as a pawn to gain something. I hate that, and I've fallen out with with friends in the past and not got them friends anymore because of the way they've treated their ex-partners, because ultimately you're damaging your children. So, you know, I've done what I can to make their life as easy as possible. And their dad will come in on Christmas Day and they'll come round in the evening, they'll have a drink before they pick them up. And it's always been like that. I mean, this year they won't, because my son now drives, so he'll drive over there himself. But
sick.
Yeah, try to keep, I'm like that as a person. I just try to keep everybody, just be nice. Like, and I know you're probably going, yeah, right, just be nice. I do.
Not today.
I do genuinely think that it means a lot to me. So I know that my kids can grow up and know that I never stopped their dad from seeing them. I never badmouthed their dad. And
Yes.
And we just got on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see, because I have I wouldn't say friends, but I know some people who who had, well, I'm 24, so most people around my age, most of the people I know have given birth and stuff. So, and some of them have didn't go very well, and they just fight and fight and fight to the point where they call the police, the baby's taken, and they do all this and it's like they're just ruining each other's lives. And to the point where sometimes I see it, sometimes I'm like, okay, that's valid. You call the police, you was in danger. Okay. And sometimes I'm like, wait, you call the police because you've seen it with another girl, but you guys are not together, and now you've lost the kid, and what was the point? Yeah. So yeah, it's good that you've kept the relationship. How supportive are your children and your partners and obviously your family towards what you're doing right now, which obviously we're going to switch to now?
You know what? My family are really, really supportive of everything I do. Like, even like my aunts, my uncles, even like my extended family. My children are, they support me in it.
Are they on the fence?
Yeah, they support me in it. They just, and they really do. And they think what I'm doing is great. It's just sometimes it can take over a little bit. So it's
for sure.
It's trying to find, and because they're older and because they've got their lives where they're at work, it might be that I'm actually free and they're not. So it's now that they're becoming adults and they've got responsibilities. It's trying to get us all together, and that can be difficult at times, because this is probably the first time in their lives. I've always done jobs where I've made sure that I could always drop them to school and pick them up from school. I've always made sure that I'm at every sports day. So they had all of that, all of their childhood. And now, as they've now got to this point, it's like, hold on, my mum's at protests every Sunday. My mum's at
she's busy
going and doing meetings. She's going to conferences. She's doing this.
She's speaking. She's doing this. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what you doing? What you doing today? And they're trying to keep up. But yeah, it works. It works. They're you know what? They love it actually if I'm out the house, because they have their mates around. So.
Sex. So free house. I mean, I didn't have much of that when I was young, but I'm sure they're liking it. Free house. Okay, so they are in support of it, but they're not liking the rapid change of how busy you have become. But they also like that the fact that there's also some ground where they can, be able to exercise their, you call it free will.
It's quite nice sometimes, because when their friends around, they're like, oh, what you up to, Nas, Sarah, and this is their friends speaking, and I'll be telling them, and then my kids start telling them, and you can see that they are proud.
They're happy. Yeah, they are happy. They're proud, and they know.
And they go, oh, your mum's a G.
Your mum's a G. Your mum's a gangster.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, God. Right. That is pretty cool. So I think that's the best description. This is a good. Now I see your life very different, to how I seen you, because now I know this is how you. Obviously, of course, there's more information that somebody else will do a good job to get. But I'm sure people who are watching this will probably be like, now I probably know who Sarah really is better than what they knew who you were. They probably thought you were just a lady who was just making noise, dressing up in pink and doing all the crazy stuff. And they're thinking, yeah, I support her. I think she's crazy. But now they actually know, no, this is a mother. This is a person who's out there, concerned, and of course, raising the flag. And of course, she's doing something that she loves for her country.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it started, I believe. You can obviously correct me. Where you are at the protest, and you were dragged like a dog. You were dragged. You were publicly, I think that was a humiliation ritual from the police, trying to humiliate you, if I'm saying that right. They dragged you around, cameras were there, pictures were taken, and they did that because you put a flag where you're not meant to put a flag. Am I correct? Is that where your political life began? Am I correct? Could you help me here and tell me more?
Well, basically, that was on the 31st of August that I got arrested.
Because that's when I realized, that's when I got to know who Sarah was. Back then, it was a reform Sarah.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to get to the changes, to the branding changes. But is that where you started? Correct me if I'm wrong.
So basically, if you go back to November last year, that's when I actually joined Reform, and then I got elected as a candidate January this year. And I progressed. It was like, just doing your normal stuff, branch meetings, with different events, conferences, stuff like that. And then in this summer was then when we started protesting. Outside the Bell Hotel in Epping. Yeah. And so I'd been doing that. And then we protested for several weeks. And then obviously that was when I got arrested. So that's when I really got chucked into.
Yeah. And that's when. Yeah. That's when your career or your activism just took off. The day that they were trying to shut you down was the day that people like myself and many other people got to know who you were, and they were like, yeah, I like this girl. I know they're trying to take her away, but bring her back. I like this girl. So could you walk me through that period when that happened and they took you to the police station? I mean, how did you get yourself there? What were you doing? Were you trying to send a message? And what message was it that you were trying to send?
Oh, so if we go back to 2 weeks prior to me being arrested, the court had ruled in the favour of the residents to shut the hotel down.
That's correct.
That was the first thing. And what had happened was the councillor, Holly Whitbread, who was and still is totally incompetent at her job, turned up to take glory for the closing of the Bell Hotel, and she'd had mainstream media was standing just to the side of where we all were, but away behind the signs, so no one could see her. But unlucky for her, I was on my phone on FaceTime, standing behind the signage, and I see her pull in, and I thought, what's she doing now? And then she got straight out, tried to disguise it from everyone that she was going to do this news piece and make it look like she was the
hero.
Yeah, that she's the hero. And I thought, what? No, you ain't doing that. People have been here week in, week out, like multiple nights each week. We're the reason. And every person who's protested, we're the reason that we've achieved this, not you. And I went over and gave her some very heated criticism. And then 2 days later, she released a statement about me. I was also then added onto a far right watch list because, guess what? Her dad's best friend is the police commissioner for Essex.
Wow. That just happened to work well, right?
Yeah, it just happened to, So, then you fast forward to 2 weeks later at the Bell Hotel, and I was saying to people, people are going to get arrested tonight. All the mainstream media were there. When mainstream media turn up, you know that arrests are going to happen. There was different police officers there to what was normally there. Not all of them, but some of them. It was like the bully boys had come in.
Yeah.
And I then gave a speech, and I stood up on a platform and I gave this speech, and it was quite a powerful speech. And it went,
as always.
Yeah, of course. And it was telling the mainstream media that basically to make sure that this was aired far and wide, and that I was saying that the government is there basically to serve us. The BBC needs to be defunded, and we all need to stop paying our council tax. And
Bold.
You can imagine how that went down days later in Parliament and in the mainstream media again. So as I've got down off of my platform, I did say, we are going to march now to the council offices. Please, can everybody stay onto the left-hand side so that cars on the right can come through? We don't want to disrupt the community. Please remain peaceful, because, again, I could see how the police were behaving already. And whilst we're marching on this protest, going towards the council offices, I kept seeing police officers digging out certain members of the public, which was certain men who, you know full well, if you pinch them or push them, they're likely to retaliate.
Yeah, they're on the edge.
They was very aware of who they was doing it to, and they was grabbing them here. And as they was grabbing them and pushing them, they was pinching them. And
oh God,
actually, and so I was constantly running up and down this line with other people and going, back off, wind your neck in. What, you don't want the paperwork, and please go over there and ignore them. They want to arrest you. So it was like that the whole way. And I thought, God, it's never like this. Like, why is it now so difficult tonight? And I knew why. We get to the council offices, which is called the Civic Centre.
That's right.
And I've got my flag, and we do it every week. Someone always puts a flag up at the top of the stairs of the Civic Centre. And usually they walk up with one of the ones that is already on a pole and put it up, and it stays. Me, I just walked up with a flag. So I've gone up and I'm now holding it. And at this point, everyone started chanting and singing, and the crowd was like really energized. And
I mean, I'm going to play the video on the screen when we get this. I'm sure people
and
will see it.
The police officer come up, and I thought, here we go, I'm getting arrested. And he come up and he was basically saying that I needed to take the flag down. And I said, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. And he said, under section 14. I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong. You can't just say that I've got to do something and I have to follow your orders because you're a police officer. Just because you're a police officer does not mean that you're right all the time. And
that's right.
I've got the utmost respect for the police.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Also, I know what's right and wrong. And we do know that police officers break the law, and we do know that they abuse their powers.
All the time.
All the time. And so I said, no, I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not moving. You can't move me. And then that's when he then signalled for the others to come up, and it went from there.
Yeah.
Been arrested. It's all kicking off here now, look. It's all kicking off. Sarah, what you got to say? What do you want to say?
I want the country to see this. This is an unlawful arrest. I was standing on the steps of the council from the stairs. No! No, you don't! No! No! Of Great Britain!
Sarah's been arrested. She's been cuffed up. Get this.
Up the stairs!
Yeah, okay. I'm fine. Fine. I've just been pushed for no reason.
Elon, help me out! The police are fucking me out!
So you can just step back a little bit, give a little bit of space. That's right, I know. Trying to force into the back of the van. All for waving the Union Jack or Union flag. You get told off for calling it a jack. Sarah, do you want me to say anything to Ola? She's upset. Do you want me to give her a message? You tell her you're fine, yeah? Alright, cool.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. You know this channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14. On and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back. And now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
And that's when they drag you around.
Yeah. Roughly,
videos, people at mainstream media are taking pictures, everybody's taking videos, pictures, and they got the other guy as well. They also arrested somebody else on the scene.
Callum.
Yeah, Callum, I believe. I think he's a Conservative councillor, right?
No, he's not actually. No.
Oh, not anymore, or not at all?
He's not. No, he's not a councillor. No.
Oh no. Oh, go on.
Who have you got? He's only. I think Callum's like 22. He's so young. I mean, you're young as well, but he's
I'm an old dinosaur here, you know. 24, oh God. No, so thank you. Now, so you got these guys are dragging you outside, and they're doing that because you put a British flag. Yeah. What's the building called again? Just remind the viewers.
The Civic Centre.
The Civic Centre.
Yeah.
You put a British flag on the Civic Centre building.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a big crime.
Offices, which is a taxpayers funded building, you know.
The name itself says it all.
Yeah.
God. It's like arresting a person for going near the parliament. It's like, what do you mean? He was just walking. He's the one paying for this building to stand. What are you talking about? You guys are here because he voted you guys in there. So this is the problem with these people. I don't know why they would. That's when there was so much attack on the flag. That's when it went viral. Of course, it's still happening, but not many people. You know, I think people are lazy now to keep on putting pressure on showing what's going on, and the attack on the flag is usually these things never really go down. We just us as people, just the trend just dies, but the attack still goes on.
And it was 100% because of the flag. Because just last week, I went to the council offices. We was protesting outside the council offices. I walked up them stairs, and I had a tannoy, and I was shouting through the tannoy, "Say no to the HMO," amongst other things, because there was a council meeting going on. There was police there, and guess what? No one come up and arrested me.
Yeah, because maybe because there were not enough people there, or maybe because the mainstream media was not there. I think they only arrest people when they know it's like, man, this person is getting so much attention now. God, we gotta do something. We gotta teach them a lesson. And when they do, that's their biggest mistake. Because every single time, I don't know if they learn from their mistake. I don't even think they do. But every time when they arrest somebody, it usually that person gets famous, and their message is often amplified.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that I'd been quite prominent in the protests along with various other people, and I think they was like, right, we want to shut her down, and we're going to send a message to all of the women here. If we can attack her and beat her up and drag her about, and she can spend 24 hours in a police cell, and we're charging her and she's going to court, then all of the other women are going to toe the line.
Yeah, true. Scary, right? Could you tell me how you were treated during the arrest process and also dragging you to court? Did it cost anything? Of course, it cost your time, your mental state, and all these other various things. But could you tell me more about that?
So basically, got to the police, the custody suite, spent 24 hours in there.
Lovely bed?
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd done? I got in there and I was like, because I had none of my stuff. They broke my glasses. I didn't have a jumper on. I had like my t-shirt because it was still warm then, but obviously not warm in a police cell. So I said, I need a jumper, and I put a jumper on and went through, got a jumper. I was like, oh, have you got matching bottoms as well? They was like, yes. I was like, my jeans are ripped. Can I have?
Sick.
Could I have a 2-piece, please? And you could tell they was getting annoyed with me because I was like, oh my God, this place is amazing.
And they know it themselves. It's a fucking shit place. It's cold. And they give you this bed. I think, how thick is the bed again? Is it like this big?
It's like a mattress like that. I mean,
just lay on the ground and you have to sleep there.
Yeah, and it's just solid, and they've got this leather. It's like almost like leather covered sort of like, but obviously leather.
Yeah,
wipeable mattress that's plonked on, and you get the same pillow as well, a pillow made out of the same stuff. But what I'd done is when I was getting my my tracksuit from them, as they turned around, I went, "Oh, can I take one of these blankets?" And I took a stack.
Oh, so you got yourself an extra blanket out?
Yeah, and I just folded it in a way where they didn't realise. So I actually had a really, really good night's sleep. And
you had fun.
Yeah, I had the best fun. Like I really did, because one, I got to actually. I mean, they kept me for 24 hours, and I slept most of it. And I had no phone, and it was just so nice just to not
to just sit with your thoughts and quiet at peace. I think a lot of us are crying for that.
Oh yeah,
a lot of us are crying for that.
I could do with another couple of days in there, to be fair.
No, let's not get that far, because I'm sure whenever they get a chance, it's gonna be dangerous for yourself, as obviously you've been the number one public enemy for them the past 6 months now.
Yeah.
And now that you are aligned with a political party, obviously now you have basically. I don't know if you play GTA where you got 1 star, 2 star. When you get to 5 star, that's when they have all the police on you. They have like the helicopter, the cars. I think right now you're probably on 2 stars. So be careful, I guess.
I'll be careful.
Be careful.
What it is, like the police that was always in Epping on a regular basis, they was shocked as well. Like they couldn't say too much, but like they was like, oh, we see that you got arrested, like that wasn't good. Like, that wouldn't have happened if we was here. And they was.
Yeah, I think I see that, because these people also, like, we have to say, these police officers they're just working. They're normal people working. That's it. It's just like you'll find a security guard outside, Weatherspoon. They're just like that, but these guys are just walking around. Obviously, with more power, they can enforce the law and all these things, and they just follow in orders. And some of them are like, man, if you know, in my moral sense, I wouldn't arrest you, but you know, like I was told to. You know, on the radio, somebody whispered, I had to, type of thing. They even show it in their face when they are, especially on a protest. They show, like, most police officers don't want to do what they're told to do. You can just tell.
Yeah, that you can tell. And you know what, like, because when you're protesting, especially when you're protesting at the same location week in, week out, sometimes 2-3 times a week, you can kind of sometimes build up a relationship with some of these officers because they are just doing a job at the end of the day.
That's it.
I don't agree with following orders. I've never ever been one to follow orders if they're wrong. If someone's saying to you, you know, could you do that, please, and it's acceptable, yeah, of course I'll follow orders. But if someone says, I did sign up to be a police officer years ago. I wanted to be a firearms officer.
Sick.
I wanted to do good in the community. Like, I've always wanted to do good. I wanted to be a fair police officer. But I would never ever, if someone said to me, you need to arrest that person, and I didn't think they needed to be arrested, I wouldn't have arrested them. And I just think that, you know, you can't keep using the excuse, I was just following orders. There has to be a point where you have to go, because look at the Nazis. You know, they got held accountable years and years later. It will happen. You will be held accountable.
Yeah, and if they can, obviously their crime was very brutal, and obviously what happened to a lot of protesters. But if they can also say I was just following orders, so that it just makes us no different.
Yeah.
To you know, it makes the police no different to the Nazis in the sense of just doing crazy stuff, ruining over people's life to the extent where they can miss work and stuff, and miss their, you know, some people, especially if let's say you had work the next day. I'm assuming you did. So now you've missed that. What if it was an important day? You've missed it. What if you had a good, what if it was your honeymoon and you had a flight with your nice looking husband, and now you have to make the phone call and be like, honey, don't get mad. I can't make it.
Sorry, honey.
You know, it's done. It's over for you. You get what I mean? So, and just because a police officer's ego got touched and he wanted to arrest you to show how powerful he is, it doesn't really work very well. No. You know, especially now where we have a lot, we are so busy and we need every second of our life. We don't have 24 hours to give to stay in a cell, just like the way you did. Do you think there's a like broader pattern where the political figures outside the mainstream politics are being treated unfairly by the system? What I mean by that is like figures like yourself who are outside from the, you know, from the big guys, obviously in parliament and stuff, from the big parties, from the big donors and the media backing you and stuff. Do you think you guys are being treated unfairly by the system in a ways where they try almost downplay your ideas, downplay your ways of doing stuff, and even not even treating you basically like peasants who should not think or should not even have their thought, they should not even have the ability to go and do what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Listen, government don't want people like me around. They don't want people that are outspoken, because they want us, the good little worker ants, to toe the line. And the problem is, when the good little worker ant becomes outspoken and starts to make people aware of what's going on and shows that you can stand up and you can be brave and you can put your neck on the line and you can be heard, they don't want people like me, because ultimately I could be the voice that encourages too many people to turn on the government. And I think you're seeing that now. I think people are standing up. People are asking me about the non-payment of council tax. More and more people now are starting to do that. And that was something that everyone was scared of years ago, even till recently. And you look at how many people have stopped paying their TV license.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, if there's anyone still paying their TV license, stop it immediately.
BBC is feeling the pain. I think they lost over 1 billion the last I think 1 year. I think the accounts that they were reporting. because people just rejected it and said, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, what's the point? Any corporation that protected the worst, most terrible paedophile to ever walk this country and planet, in fact, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, that's right.
They protected him. They knew what was going on. They was complicit. Why would you pay?
With that many...
It's unacceptable. Do not pay your TV license, anybody.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if one goes and do it, let's say one person shows how brave, it should just I have to spark the braveness out of others. Like yourself, you go out there and you put yourself on the line. Other people are like, it's not that painful. If she can do it, I can do it. And then they jump and everybody else jump. And a lot of people are like, man, oh God, they're jumping. All right, I want to jump. And it gets to the point where it feels like not jumping is the worst thing not to do. And that's why soon it will be paying council tax or paying, okay, maybe that's too big. Paying TV council tax. Okay, that's a big battle. But paying TV license would be a thing that only stupid people do. So to the point where everybody will be like, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing, not paying it.
Yeah.
And you are leading the way. Many other people are also chanting the same thing and also saying, hey, we should not be paying this if these guys are not producing the work that they promised they were going to produce. If they're lying to us, I mean, why would you pay somebody to lie to you? What the heck?
Yeah, come on. And the thing is, their lies aren't just like silly little lies. They're lies that are inciting violence. I mean, the way that they doxed Trump's speech.
Oh, yeah.
Actually incited violence.
So
yeah, they should be held accountable. And I'm really annoyed about that people are not held accountable for their crimes or for their, for their partaking in crimes. Because you have to look at loads of things. And if the BBC want to report on stuff, then report on everything. Don't
That's right.
choose. Like, citizen journalists, they will live stream so they know what's actually going on at that point, where the BBC will take things and they'll cut it and they'll clip it and then they'll only do one narrative. So many people are brainwashed by what they're watching, and that's the reason we're in the problem we're in today. Like, BBC and the mainstream media are predominantly to blame. Yeah,
you are right in a sense where the lies that they produce cost a lot of money as well to lie. The way they do this documentary where it costs millions of pounds only to lie to people who are scraping the bottom to pay that. Go on.
No, why do the documentary in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, because you have to know hundreds of people are working on one documentary. And imagine if all those hundreds of people are there to lie to you and me. I mean, this is an evil corporation.
It is. You look at what they done with Trump. You look at what they done about reporting in Gaza. About they used a child of from what was it? His uncle or his dad was part of Hamas.
Yeah, his dad or a part of the relative of Hamas.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. And
they've used him multiple times as well.
Yeah,
he's like the go-to character.
But stop it now.
And the guys, there's multiple reports saying that kid is one of the rich kids over there. He's just being used by Al Jazeera, BBC, and all these outlets who want to show what's happening in Gaza. They're like, hey, bring that kid. Yeah, him.
Yeah, that one. Bring that one back. But then you look at the government, the judges, the mainstream media, and the police. They're all in it together. They're all in each other's pockets. The judges do what the government say. The mainstream media do what the government say. They all work together. And I'm sick to death of it, because you only have to look at sentencing that judges hand out now. I read the other day that someone they got 22 months for a social media post.
Oh yeah.
But the same judge let off a child rapist because she said that the prisons were overflowing.
Yeah, for sure. They
to be held accountable.
That's what I'm saying. So sorry, you and I were most likely to get arrested for doing this podcast than a guy who's out there sexually assaulting a kid.
Yeah,
This is how dangerous it is.
yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
look at, we can, especially rapes as well, which obviously is becoming very prevalent in this country, where nowadays there's like reports of rape every single, I have to say it now confidently, every single day.
Every single day.
Every single
girl
day
was
now we can actually say
outside the
confident.
police station just the other
Yeah.
week. In broad daylight, a young girl raped outside a police station in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
There is
And another one,
multiple. Just the other day, a young girl, Ola, who I protest with from the Pink Ladies, she went to her funeral. She was buried. She was 19. She was brutally murdered. Her name was Lily Whitehouse. She's
That's right.
19. She gave birth to her child in September, I believe. Her
3
child.
months.
So that child will never ever know what her mum's voice sounded like.
That's right.
Them parents have had to bury their daughter. My daughter's 19. These attacks are happening far, far too often. Sexual assaults and rapes are happening every single day. It is predominantly women and children. However, we know now that sexual assaults and rape has gone up on men
Yeah.
like 400%. Like, I mean, I might be wrong there, but you go, it's happening to everyone.
Yeah, nobody's spared now. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because I was reporting this, I think, yesterday, where I reported this last year, to be fair, and I touched on it yesterday again. Is that the rapes, when you look at the rape victims back in the days, when I mean like the last 20 years, 15 years,
Yeah.
the rape used to be, the age range used to be around like mid 30, 29, 30 years old, 33, 35. But now the age range for victims has gone lower and lower and lower. It's like even a 3-year-old is not spare.
No.
12-year-olds now, 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds. It's just getting lower and lower. And it's getting to the point where, wait, can I even let my kid go to school? Can I even trust this new teacher that just introduced? Who is he?
Well, the guy.
I mean, it gets to the point where you can't trust anybody.
Who was the guy in the nursery? He's been in charge of looking after children.
Yeah, the 18-year-old kid who was in charge and looking after daycare. Daycare. I mean, imagine you get the trust of young kids like 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and they trust you. They want to play. What's the thing that you got very good with the kid with? It was some toys, some cartoon stuff that he was very good with the kids, and the kids loved him because he knew about this cartoon that the kids liked.
Yeah.
And he used that to abuse the kid in the school toilet.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how low it's getting. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
Something is changing. That's why I really respect what you're doing, and that's why I'm always trying to amplify people like yourselves who are coming out there raising the concerns that the bad things that's going on in the country, and also calling for justice and reform in the sense where things needs to be changed.
You know what? Me and everybody else who has got the same opinions as me, wanting a safe, fair, and secure country, and wanting to protect women and children and men and everyone. For me to not want women and children to get sexually assaulted or raped or murdered is not far right, it's not racist, it's not fascist, and I can't be deemed as a Nazi. I care about our future generations. I care about the safety in which my children and everyone's children's and everyone is in right now. And our country is going down the pan rapidly. I love this country, which is why I'm still here. But I love what it was. I don't love what it's becoming. And I say that all the time. But to then get attacked and persecuted, I had my address doxed. Where is the mentality with these people? I'm standing up for women and children. I'm out protesting because a young girl was sexually assaulted in her school uniform in broad daylight in our community. It's not an isolated incident. This is happening far too often. It's in every community. If it's not in yours yet, it will be there soon. So until we all come together and until we all can see that there is a problem and a real problem, and the problem is these people that are coming in, being brought in their thousands, week in, week out, they have a different mindset to us.
Yeah.
They do not integrate.
Totally agree. I mean, look at the Leamington Spa case, where they tried to block this case from us knowing. Thank God for the Daily Mail fighting the judge who tried to hide this thing. And then we realized, oh, these guys were in here within a month. The two guys who raped a young girl, a 15-year-old kid, in Leamington Spa.
Yeah, awful.
Which that's what they say. They say, oh, a young little girl. Well, if it's reported, yeah. A young girl just got, this happened. Oh, this incident, this is an isolated incident. No, bro, it's happening every day, and you don't want to say it because if you do say, you're going to be you're going to be called upon, you're going to be expected to do something, and you do not want to confront it, and you don't want to do anything.
People are so scared to speak out because they're scared that they're going to be deemed a racist. It isn't about race. It isn't about religion. It's about what's right. And if certain people, and not every single person that has come into this country undocumented illegally is a criminal, but if you're not prepared to call out the people that are committing the crimes and see what is the relationship within these crimes, then you're part of the problem. You have to be able to call these things out. I don't care now if I get deemed a racist, a fascist, a far-right thug, a Nazi. I don't care, because people on the left have outused these words and they've now lost all meaning. So I'm not a racist, I'm not a thug, I'm not a fascist, I'm not a Nazi, but I care. And I would stand up for anyone. And also what people need to look at is there's the grooming gang scandals that still nobody has been held accountable for.
Yeah, correct.
The women that have been brave enough to come forward, oh my God, they have done something amazing.
They're sticking their lives on the line.
Yes. However, we do know that it's predominantly young white girls that are being targeted by Pakistani grooming gangs. However, what about the girls in their own communities that are getting sexually assaulted and raped, and they can't speak out about it because of the shame within their community and within their culture? I'm standing up for all women and children. I don't care what someone's race, religion, or culture is. I want to stand up for everyone. It just so happens that the people that come forward are predominantly white. That's what it is. We've had women come forward to us who say they're from a Pakistani background or heritage, or, they from a Muslim faith. They've come forward and they've said, thank you for speaking out. I myself have been a victim of rape, but in my community, it will be frowned upon for me to speak out. But, there are these things. It's not wrong of me or anybody else to call out what is going on. There are a certain demographic of people that have a certain ideology and believe that women are nothing more than, not even, they're nothing. I ain't going to say a second life. They're nothing. Women are nothing. They're just there. They serve a purpose, and that's it. This is why, certain areas now are calling for that you're not allowed to know the sex of your baby, because if you was to have find out that you was having a girl, they terminate so far into their pregnancy now, and that has to stop. So they have no respect for the female race.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. This channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14, on and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back, and now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
They don't care
Wow,
about
that is happening in the UK.
Yeah.
Where now they can, because obviously this is very prevalent in countries like, obviously I don't want to dox any country here, just in case people start saying I'm racist and stuff. But there's countries that we know where they don't want a girl as a firstborn.
Yeah.
They don't want too many girls in their family. They want men, so men can like rule, and men can own the next corner shop after dad is gone, whatever. And they want maybe one girl, and they want 5 boys. And when they know 2 months in or 3 months in that it's a girl, they're like, which is kind of dangerous, the fact that that's happening in the UK.
Yeah, of course.
Because,
there's a high termination rate within certain cultures because when they find out that they're having a girl.
That is, man, I think this is the problem, man. I don't know why there's because you have to understand without. All right, maybe I'm gonna be a little bit of a guy who, I mean, I like girls, of course I do. I was talking to my partner, and she was like, "Yeah, I want, you're gonna be a good girly dad or whatever what she was saying, or maybe she's, she just want a lot of girls, but I don't mind if if I have so many girls, but you have to embrace the girls because I don't see anything that would exist today without the girls." Exactly. That's what they say. Women and children, fuck the guys. It's okay. We can have one. Life will still carry on, but we need at least 100 girls safe, and we can save one guy, obviously, for the sake of humanity, but we need all the girls safe. There's a reason for that.
Look, if a boat's going down, it's save women and children. Women and children in the life rafts first, right?
Yeah.
And men, because men want to provide and protect. It's inbuilt in them. It's instincts. However, in certain cultures, women are not seen as a priority.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, because I get frustrated when I see girls, make a mistake in picking the wrong guys and stick with them, even though they know this is a wrong person for me. I don't know why girls do that. They get so many, red flags. They're like, "Oh, I've seen the red flag from the start." Okay, then what did you do? I stayed. All right, that was not a red flag then. That was a green flag for you.
I'm one of them. I'm a bit.
So you see,
Sarah.
Yeah, are you one of those girls where your best friends have to go at you all the time for picking the wrong person all the time, even though you knew they were bad?
Yeah.
There's a video that went viral. There's a video that went viral.
The last 10 years in a relationship that I should have cut off within 2 weeks.
God, man, that's the problem, because there's a video that went viral here. I think maybe last night or something. I got to see it today, where a girl was getting robbed. Well, she wasn't getting brought. She was standing there with a partner. She's standing there. They're looking on the phone. It looks like they're tourists, and it looks like because they had the backpack and the suitcase, and it looks like they were just looking at the map and where to go and stuff. And one guy tried to rob the girl's phone. It wasn't in the UK, thank God. But I'm sure there's many incidents like this that happen. A guy comes to rob the girl's phone. The boyfriend runs away.
Oh, shut up.
That's what I was saying. That as soon as I seen this, I was like, all right, cool. I'm showing that. I'm logging out, X. I'm logging out. Forget password. I'm not coming back. This is the problem. We are producing weak men nowadays where they can't protect their own girls. And now they are going out there looking and trying to molest young girls, vulnerable kids. That's the people we're producing today.
Yeah.
We don't have, because I know a man, when I see a man, I'm like, oh, obviously when I know someone, I talk to them and I know who they are and I understand if something was to happen, that's my bro.
Yeah.
I know when I'm going outside, I know who to bring. I'm like, okay, that guy, that's the one. I don't know about him, but I know I can see it in him. If somebody was to punch me, I know that guy will put his head on the ground without me even asking him to. Yeah. I understand him. And some guys, I'm like, yeah, if I was to go to, I'll bring him. Because he's a bit like, he's a little bit of jelly in it. It's not really strong. And some people, I'm like, if I had a baby, I would not let this guy. No, I won't even introduce my wife to him. And as boys, as men, we kind of realize that we know these things. And today, the sad thing is that you look around the world and you look around the country, most men are on the last one, where you won't even let them sit, you won't even let them close to your wife, because that's how weak and they can't control themselves. They're so impulsive. They act bad for no reason. They just react to whatever emotion that comes in their mind, and they just do silly stuff. And they can't protect themselves. They can't protect their own girls. And that's what we hear today, where we see these, and obviously now we're importing many of them who will obviously act bad online, and they'll show weapons and stuff. They don't get girls, you can tell. And because they don't get girls, they've never had anything. They rely in looking for vulnerable young kids to sexually pleasure themselves, which is obviously a problem that needs to be solved soon. Like, it needs to be solved right now.
It does.
Because nowadays,
solved.
I see right now, looking at the numbers. Because when you look at the numbers, if 100 guys rape girls, 3 of them will get arrested and be jailed. 97 will go back home and carry on their thing. 98 will go back home. That's the numbers. Don't shoot the messenger, guys. I'm reporting to you guys right now, live with Sarah. That's the number. So of course we can also blame something like, hey, it's the police as well. They're not doing enough. They're not arresting these guys, and they're not doing all these things. So first of all, we are inviting more in. We are inbreeding more. Obviously, the men are becoming more weaker and not able to control themselves, and more heartless to the point where they can hurt young, vulnerable kids. That's a problem. We are breeding that, and we are also inviting more like that in here, and the law doesn't do anything. So to that, I say every single girl in the country is somehow in this magic hat. Well, it's not really a magic hat. It's a devil's hat, where any time of the day, their names could be next. And it doesn't matter how old they are. They could be 3. They could be 1. Obviously, we're seeing now with the nursery guys, with people who are working in with kids, we're seeing that. They could be 67. There's reports where older women are getting raped as well. Yeah. So now it's like everybody, any day could be your day where you're not going to go back home safe, or you're not even going to go home at all. Yeah. This is a problem, Sarah. Could you tell me how you'd try to fix this? Because I also want to swag into the campaign that you lead with various, obviously with other strong women like yourself. But just tell me how, first of all, from the men's side, how you seen the men today on how we've been inbreeding or growing, we've been bringing these men up who are emotionally weak, who can't stand up for themselves or for their women. And they always target vulnerable young children or young vulnerable women just to pleasure themselves. How we can tackle that from a woman's perspective yourself. And also in the sense of getting justice and in the sense of bringing back the common sense, how are we going to fix that? Or how would you go around fixing it?
Firstly, anyone who has broken into this country needs to be detained, processed, and deported.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. Secondly, anyone who commits a crime such as rape, sexual assault, murder, these crimes need to be, punished, but punished properly. Not, what was it? Someone said recently the rape didn't last long enough or something to be classed as rape. Like, judges.
Wait. That's a thing?
Yeah. It's an actual thing. So, but people need to be held accountable. People need there needs to be tougher sentences. And we also need to do tougher sentences for knife crime as well, because that's a major thing. I worry about my boys being out. So I worry about my daughter being out, but I worry about my sons being out.
Yeah.
So crimes need to be punished and punished properly. We also really need to tackle what is going on in this country, like you're saying, with men are being feminized and women are being pushed up. I am a strong believer in the reason why relationships lasted years ago was because, you've got a lot of blame needs to lie with social media. Because, now if a woman has a row with her husband, she'll go straight on Facebook, put a couple of comments up, loads up a post about him being a narcissist or says something, men these days, and implying that she's furious with her husband. However, everyone can read into every single post that you put up, no matter how hidden you think the meaning is. And then at that point, bam, someone slides into your missus's DMs because she's put a post out. She thinks, I'm getting a little bit of attention here. I like this. And before you know it, they're having an affair, and then the family unit breaks down.
Yeah,
we
true.
really need to look at our family units in this country. When I was in Poland recently, you see whole families walking down the street, the mum, the dad, the children, they're walking along, they're not on their phones, they're engaging with one another, they're all out together. And I really admired that, and I really thought that was really something that we need to focus on in this country, because I think it's it's the government ultimately that is to blame, because of our taxation, because of anything that we pay, how hard it is to buy a property. So then you have to have, if you're from a husband and wife, you both have to go to work. Then all of a sudden, why is it that childcare is being paid for you to go back to work straight away? We're gonna give you an incentive. You go back to work. So the mum now has to go back to work. We're going to give some sort of incentive for childcare. Well, hold on a minute. You've had a child. You need to be at home looking after your child. You need to, and
for yourself as well.
And then the husband is then out providing and protecting. And we've lost that. That's what they've done. Our government has broken down our family unit.
They have, I agree with that.
We need the women to become the wives, the mothers that they.
And we have to talk about it. People and they get 3 years in prison. You're thinking, what do you think he's going to learn 3 years? He's going to be out next few months. What are you talking about?
A child rapist got off of going to prison because the prison was overrun. But yet somebody who tweeted hurty words got something like 22 months. It doesn't make any sense. So what it shows you is they care more about people saying stuff online than they do about a child or a woman or they don't care. They just don't care about society.
Yeah, and they like when they see people just divided and fighting each other. So then the system runs for long. But if people are able to talk the way, we've seen a great awakening here in the UK, where we see the left and the right also debating, going back and forth. And I like that, even though I might disagree with some of their ideas. But I like the fact that they're also active and they're campaigning for something and they're trying to get some changes within the government. And the right are also campaigning, fighting, and trying to get some change. Obviously we might disagree with, like, oh, socialism, capitalism, this, communism. Some of them we might, we don't agree with this, we don't agree with this. But we should all agree that girls should not, kids should not be like molested, sexually assaulted and stuff. I'm sure we can all agree with that.
Whenever I'm at a protest and the left turn up, I always try to engage and have an actual adult debate and talk to them without shouting and just say to them, the first thing I say is, can we all agree that can we all agree that children are the most precious? And they're like, what? I went, can we please agree that children are the most precious and the most vulnerable? And they know exactly where I'm going with it. They don't like it. And I go, just can we agree? It's something basic. It's a basic question. And they say, yeah. I go, right. So do we not think that all children deserve to feel that they're safe and they're protected within this country? Like, because we're talking about this country. I'm not talking about other countries. I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, but. And I'm like, no, there's no buts.
There's no but. What do you mean but?
I don't care who you are. And that's why I believe that these debates have to happen. And I think if we can actually break through, and I have done a few times, I've broken through and I'm going, right, so you're counter-protesting about me protesting to stand up for children's safety. Do you understand that you're here and you're basically counter-protesting, which means that you're against children's safety? And then
exactly.
They're like, oh.
Yeah, wrong banner. Wrong banner. So you got into politics because you felt you got into politics because
reform were the only option, because Labour and Conservative weren't the option. And I went to vote, and when I got in there was no reform on the ballot paper. So I said, excuse me, what's wrong with this? And I said, there's no reform. And they went, we certainly don't have reform here. So I thought, right, well, if no one's prepared to stand in this area, then I'm going to have to do it. So I went home that night, filled out the form, sent it off, went to a local branch, not a local branch meeting, but it was the setting up of a branch meeting. Went to, and as I was at that, I then spoke to the chairman. I said, I've put forward an application to become a local councillor. And he was like, yeah, I've actually got your name down. And then the process went from there. And then I become a candidate for and Buckhurst Hill East. And I'm not here to start slagging reform off, because that's them. They're doing what they want to do. But I did gradually over time start to see cracks, and I thought, these aren't the answer. And I didn't really know what to do. And then as the time went on, I spoke to other people and I said, I'm not really happy with the way things are going. And then lo and behold, Advance got set up.
Right.
And Advance seemed to me everything from what I could see and what I'd heard. And actually, the reason why I'd joined Reform in the beginning was because of Ben Habib.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like, I believed when he was in Reform, along with, it was him and Richard Tice at the beginning. But my stepdad was always like, you got to follow that Ben Habib, he's great, blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like, you're right, Sarah, you're just saying that now because you're part of Advance. But,
yeah,
and then when I see that what had happened to Ben, and then Rupert, because I met Rupert and I really liked Rupert, and I was like, oh God, now he's gone. And I didn't like the way he was, charges that was put out against him, and I just felt that it was really unjust. And I was like, what the hell is going on with this party? And then I decided I was leaving. Then I got arrested.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, let's see what they do. never got in touch with me, never done nothing. And it just made up my mind even more, right, I need to go. And then I'd spoken to Ben, and then obviously I'd spoken at Tommy's rally. And then shortly after that, I then decided to, then I sprayed myself pink.
Oh yeah, we can't forget that moment.
Yeah. And then I joined Advance UK, and honestly, it was the best thing I ever done. I'm so happy. They're such a lovely group of people. They're incredibly sincere and they're very welcoming. Every single person I've met through Advance has just been so kind.
And
just the welcoming and the way that everybody is within Advance, it's been really, it's been such a lovely experience, and may it long continue.
Yeah, I have to praise this, because obviously you guys just did a event in Manchester, which was quite lovely. The turnout was really good. But there's a lot of, well, I would say pro reformers who are obviously, whenever they get a chance to comment, they make sure they do. And they make sure they make it loud and clear that they do not want Advance UK. And they say Advance UK is here to divide, is here to put the Tories or the left or keep Labour in and stuff, because apparently they're not ready to have another political party. Maybe you should try once Nigel Farage is their prime minister, because they have this notion where they know that it's destined that Nigel Farage will be the next prime minister. Like, it's been written in stone. Like, it's been written
in writing. There's an agreement.
Yeah, this is it. And they've got their pictures ready and their stuff, and they probably they've hired a venue where they're gonna celebrate. So it's like they're seeing you guys as the reason why that will not happen, and you guys are making the biggest mistake to and the biggest kicks in the bars for in the country. So could you tell the people why Advance UK, especially when they feel like that change is coming with reform, and Advance might be the one that might destroy it for them?
Well, Advance is everything that reform should have been. It is everything that everyone wanted reform to be. However, over time, we are seeing more and more people falling out of love with reform. And it's not everybody, of course it's not. They've got they've got supporters, and they've got really strong supporters as well. However, I think it took reform something like 3 or 4 years to get 30,000 members. It took Advance 3 months to get 30,000 members.
That's a lot.
If we think about when the elections are going to be, they're not going to be until 2029. So whose vote are we dividing? We've got 4 years. And I think the way that everyone from Advance is, I believe, when I went for reform in the beginning, I went because I believed and everybody was grassroots. In reform, then people are being pushed out because they want Conservative in. They're keeping their friends. They're allowing them to carry on line in their pockets. It is just Conservative 2.0. That's all I can see.
Yeah, many Conservatives have joined almost every single day now.
And when I was at the conference at the NEC in Birmingham for reform, I think maybe around September time, whenever it was, a few months ago, I was at that, and I only listened for 5 minutes of speeches, and then I just left. And basically, the part that I heard Nigel say was, yes, it's all great, everybody in reform now, but what we really need is to bring in people who have spent their lives in politics. What you really need is, I'm bringing all my mates over from Conservative, the people that have ruined the country for the last 14 years, just so that they can keep their pay packet. I don't think so. That's not what anyone who is in there from grassroots signed up for. They need people. You need people in politics that know what it's like on ground level. You need people who understand the cogs that turn this society. It's people like me, it's people like yourself, people who have got real life experiences. They can be rich or poor. They can come from, you know, privileged backgrounds. They can come from diverse backgrounds. However, you need people that actually know what it's like to deal with real life. People that are in Parliament, they're like, have any of them run a business? No. Have
Probably
any of
not.
them struggled? I don't believe so. And even if they have, are any of them prepared to put their neck on the line? No, they're not. So you need strong, confident people who are prepared to put this country first. And at the end of the day, that's all I can see with Advance is the people that are there care so deeply about this country. They've had enough. It's one
Fight the big guys who want to
Bring out
cling
the
into
big guns.
power. Yeah, that's it. That's it. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see you in defense.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. You know this channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14. On and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back. And now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening, I need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
Do you know what it is? I'm not the most intelligent. I'm definitely not the most articulate, but what I am is real. And I've got a burning passion inside me for this country because I love it. I've sworn my allegiance to this country because I love this country. And I believe that we are all entitled to live in a safe, fair, and secure country. But I want to be part of that. I want to stay here. I want to make this country great again. I don't want to see it turn to a third world country. I don't want to walk down the street and there be rubbish everywhere. I don't want to have to continuously worry, is somebody going to attack me? We should be able to walk around freely. We should have freedom of speech. We should live in a democracy. There is a lot of things that is wrong with this country, and they can all be sorted out. But you need someone to lead this country who is not scared. You need someone who is brave, and you need someone who is prepared to make some really, really difficult decisions. Because without that, you might as well kiss goodbye to this country. Because it's going to come a point where it's going to reach the point of no return. And I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting there. We're getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm glad you've come out from subs, I guess. You're joining the game and you're fighting and
definitely.
And
I was just saying about, I've got this deep burning passion inside me. I'm patriotic. I take pride in this country, and I'm prepared to put my neck on the line. I would be in Parliament and I wouldn't just sit there thinking, I'd just take a pay pack each week. Don't speak out. No, we need people that say, no, these people are going to be held accountable. No, these people are going to be deported. No, I don't care if you was an MP and you was involved in the grooming gang scandal. You're going to be called out and you're going to be held accountable, and you're going to suffer the consequences of your dealings within that. Or you're a police officer that just so happened to lose the evidence that could have potentially got someone put away for murder or rape. You're going to be held accountable. So watch out, all of these people that think they're in power and think that they're so good at, no one will touch me because I'm a police officer, I'm a councillor, I'm an MP. No, you're going to be held accountable one day, and you will hate it. They will hate the day that people like me get into politics, because I will make sure that people for their wrongdoings are held accountable, because there are far too many people that have been let down in this country, and that they need a voice, and they need somebody to speak up for them, and they need to see that for what they went through, somebody was held accountable.
Yeah, which is powerful accountability. We have to. Have to. Now, obviously, we're running out of time. I want to squeeze like 2 questions here when it comes to. Man, I have a whole list here. Man, we got only 4 done. God, this is what my team tells me all the time. They're like, Barak, you make me research every single inch of these. I see every single footprint of the media account, and I get all these questions, and you only ask 5 or 4. And I'm like, I can't get to all of them. You bring like 50 questions. What do you think this is?
Have me back on again.
Yeah, we can always have you back on. But I want to talk about the aim of the Pink Ladies. Could you tell me more about that? What's the aim of this idea and this movement that is quickly spreading, not just in Epping, but it's spreading. It's coming up north as well, which is obviously becoming something that I'm increasingly interested in. Could you tell me more about that? What's the aim? What are you guys trying to do?
Well, as you say, there's pink ladies everywhere, and they really are. There's pink ladies in Northern Ireland. They are everywhere. And it's about women coming together and standing up and saying enough is enough. We are here, and we want women and children's safety put as a priority. And so we're just trying to spread awareness. So it's about documenting all of these crimes that go not unnoticed, but undocumented by our mainstream media. So by us putting everything on X and Instagram and on any other platform that we can, and talking about it on places like GB News and Talk TV, hopefully people who may not be aware or may not have heard of these crimes will suddenly know about them, because the more we talk about them, further and wide it can be spread. So the Pink Ladies, ultimately, it's a movement that is led by women, supported by men. And I believe that when women stand up together, when women rise together, we're a force to be reckoned with. And then what happens when men see women out, risking everything, dressed in pink, more often than not, the husbands will go, I need to go out and make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Their sons will come out and go, I want to make sure my mum's okay.
Yeah.
So it encourages men to now come out. So for so long, again, we speak about where men have been downtrodden and put to the wayside. Now, all of a sudden, all of these women are wanting their men to come and stand side by side with them. So it's making this movement spread far and wide, and it's getting everybody together. That's what I love about it. It's one of the few movements that's actually really, really joined people up and down the country in their local communities, and actually discussing the problems that is going on in the local communities and making people more aware of them. And, a group of women turning up dressed in pink is not scary. It's not frightening.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, like the Pink Power Rangers. Maybe that should be another outfit of mine.
That's it.
And I just hope that more and more women join and set up their own things, because it's not controlled by anyone. That's the beauty of this. It's about people. I have women get in touch with me, and other women have other women get in touch with them. It's not that I'm some leader of it or anything like that. I've been seen in the public life.
Oh yeah. You'd be more.
Then women get in touch and go, I'd really love to know, is there a group in my area? Or I'd really love to know, how can I set a group up? And all of us are always welcoming, and we're always open to give as much information to these women as possible, so that then they can set up their own groups in their areas. They then can, you know, talk to other women in other areas, because you've only got to put in pink ladies into any search engine and you'll find a list
pink.
as long as your arm. So
true.
and it's just everyone's uniting, and you then become friends with these people, and you hear their stories, and then people get in touch saying, could you share my story? Yeah, of course, no problem. And it's making people aware, and you know, no one's scared of pink ladies. And when Whitechapel, when the council officers at Whitechapel wanted to have the pink ladies deemed as a far right racist movement, I mean, that was just ridiculous, because like I said, you got women in Epping, most of them are 70s, in their 70s or 80s. You know, I would not be scared with these women, like, you know, coming towards you, waving their pink flags.
Yeah.
This is just women who are concerned about the women and children and everyone's safety within their local community. It's not far right. It's right.
It's right. That's it.
Right.
That's it. Why specifically the name Pink Ladies? Why not British ladies? Or the ladies are out? Or I don't know. Why Pink Lady? Who came up with that?
I couldn't answer that for you, because it wasn't me that come up with it. Pink Lady Group, you know, has been around for a very long time. You have the Pink Ladies from the breast cancer charities. They are spread far and wide. So I'm not a founder. I'm not a leader. I just happen to be a pink lady. Or listen, at the end of the day, I'm Sarah.
Yeah, that's it.
Almost, I'm Sarah, and I'm a mother, and I am also a pink lady. I'm also a proud member of Advance UK.
Sick.
You can be multiple things. You can support as many things as you want. And I am a supporter of the Pink Ladies, and I've been very prominent within the Pink Ladies throughout, because of my arrest and because of me spraying myself pink.
Yeah, sick.
You know, I think it's something, there are no leaders, there are no founders. It is, we are women, we should all come together, we should all unite and encourage the country to stand behind us.
Yeah, that's it. And I think you're getting the support that you really deserve.
Yeah.
Now, last question here before I let you go. Go out there and crush the people who need to be crushed. Now, I'm going to list a list of names. I got like a list of names here. Just maybe 5-10 names, I guess. I just want you one word description of what you think about these people. I'm going to name them out and give me one word. It could be hero, it could be a monster, or it could be evil, it could be any word, all right? So starting with the one and only K Starmer.
Traitor.
Ben Habib.
Oh, this is a tough one. There's so many.
Yeah, I think he's watching. Uh-oh. Sarah's about to be fired, guys. Now I'm playing.
There's so many words. He's a leader.
Leader. Kemi Badnock.
She's all right.
All right. Charlie Kirk.
Oh, a hero.
A hero. Zara Sultano.
Ugh. A disgrace.
A disgrace. Yeah. What about your friend, Jeremy Corbyn?
He is a buffoon.
A buffoon. Tommy Robinson.
Oh, he's another hero.
Another hero. Piers Morgan. I don't even know why I included this name. Nigel Farage, your favorite friend before you fired him.
Puppet.
He's a puppet. Donald Trump.
He the man.
The man. All right. And the last one, and not least, the guy who's been capturing the international airwaves right now is a young man, 27 years old, Nick J. Fuente. What do you think of him?
Yeah.
Onward, Sarah. This could be... you gotta think hard for him.
What would you use to describe? Go on, you can use the last one.
Nick Fuente. Oh, this is a twist. I'll say...
It's hard, isn't it?
I think... I wouldn't use one word. I have a lot of words for him to describe him, but I would say... I'll call him a fruit.
A fruit?
And you can pick whichever fruit that is. What fruit do you think it will be?
Oh no, this is not fair.
What are you trying to throw it on me? I'll call him a fruit. What fruit is it? Is it a banana? Is it a nice strawberry? What is it? Or it's some nice, or it's like some bitter like kiwis or something. Some people might like that, to be fair.
What color is the fruit? I'm putting it back.
Yeah, because it depends. If it's more red, pinkish, that means it's sweet. Okay. Oh God, are you asking me that question or?
Yeah, I'm putting it back on you.
Oh God, what is this? Are we playing like? Oh God. Okay, what color is the fruit? Oh man, is there any black fruits there? It's definitely not bright.
It's definitely not bright.
Black. Nah. Okay. What fruit is that? Now the selection is very like narrow now. It's becoming very specific.
And is it ripe or rotten?
Oh, because this guy is very young and he has a very, some of his opinions are, I agree. Some of his opinions are so dangerous. So I don't know if he's rotten or if I'll just say it is a developing fruit. It's still in the ground. All right. Now don't throw it back at me. Just say the word. All right. Nick Fuente, what do you think? This is a battle.
It's been squashed in the ground.
Yeah. They just planted a seed. Yeah. It's actually a good description of him, to be fair, because he's fairly young, and his opinions are like, some of them are very dangerous, and some of them are like, okay, I understand. And because obviously he's young, and describing him as a fruit, I see that he's gonna grow, and depending if he's gonna change or not, depending how he goes, it could be a good fruit, it could be a bad fruit. What fruit do you think it is?
Yeah, but that's. I don't think age has got anything to do with it because you're young. Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I say age has a lot of influence today, and if he holds that properly and, wield it properly,
yeah,
it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. And to what I've seen, there's some I like, there's some I don't like. Now, if we go back to one word, Nick Fuente to somebody else in the UK, because maybe obviously his stuff is out there, he's making noise. Okay, cool.
I think he could be. He could do great things.
Nick Fuente.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
We'll see. Future. We'll see what the future holds.
Where you're wanting to go.
But yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. It's been I've been advanced by Sarah White today. Yeah. Don't you think, guys? Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast having a conversation with you. I feel like I got to know you way more, especially the last one as well with these questions. Got to see your thought process with these names and stuff and what you think about these people. Also, the first 20 minutes, getting to know who you really are, your family, your personal story. Kind of touchy to many, kind of worrying to some. Some might sit here and be like, no, I don't want somebody like that in my constituent. But it's good to have that story out there. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with me and sharing it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And I shall see you soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
So then I was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania. At the time, there's so many people ran there. A lot of people were going there, real refugees, after being butchered from
the civil war that erupted in Congo. My parents applied for asylum to all the countries. They waited. Now, then I was born in that camp, the same camp. I'm talking tents. I was born there. Now, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. For 14 years, we were waiting. Now, of course, these guys could choose to wait as well, but these guys hijacked that and they come in the country illegally. Now, the media will brand you guys racist, far right, the worst people here, the worst group here. How come the good group didn't invite me to go speak over there? So I call this the greatest awakening because all the way from over there, there's hundreds of people turning up. It's a Saturday, for God's sake. They could easily go around and watch football and have fun, go on a date, do all the lovely stuff they could do. But instead, they want to stand here, rain or not. They're ready to send the message. And I believe the message will be received today. Thank you so much.
For anybody in the back who struggled to hear this young man's story, one incredible, brave young man.
Oh yes, I agree.
British Christian values.